Good day, my name is Abigail Grazones, and today we will talk about the last part of the taxation during the Commonwealth period. So, in this presentation, we will talk about the taxation during the Commonwealth period and readings of the Philippine history. So, for the past studies, it was stated that Philippines is under the influence of American during this period. However, it was stated here that as the World War II reached the Philippine shores, economic activity was put a stop and Philippines bowed to a new set of administrators, the Japanese. The Japanese military administration in the Philippines during the World War II immediately continued the system of tax collection introduced during the Commonwealth, but exempted the articles belongings of the Japanese armed forces. So, article belongings of Japan. So, that is because Philippines under the Commonwealth period was self-governing. Although we are under the ultimate control of the United States, Washington, D.C. during the request of the Philippines under the Empire of Japan, the government evacuated to Australia. And that is to follow the lead of the prior evacuation of United States General Douglas MacArthur. That is on March 1942. So it was clear here that not just in US, we also bowed to Japanese administration, and they were the one who continued the system of tax collection introduced by the Americans. Moving on, foreign trade failed and the main sources of taxation came from amusements, manufactures, professions, and business licenses. As the war raged, tax collection was a difficult task, and the additional incomes of the government were derived from the sales of the national sweepstakes and the sale of the government bonds. So because of the decreasing foreign trade, it was said that amusements, manufacturers, professions, and business licenses became the main sources of taxation. And not just that, the national sweepstakes and the government bond became the source or the extra income of the government. So what are these? What is the national sweepstake and what is the government bonds as they became the additional or extra income of the government? According to my research, government bonds are issued by governments and corporations when they want money. By buying a bond, you are giving the issuer a loan, and they agree to pay you back for the face value of the loan on specific date. And they pay you periodic interest payments along the way. This usually happens twice a year. So maybe that is the reason why it became an extra income of the government. So sweepstakes on the other hand is a type of contest where prize or prizes may be awarded to the winner or winners. So this started as a form of lottery, and we know how it works to provide fund or money to the government. As of today, we have this PCSO or Philippine Charity Sweepstake Office, and PCSO during the Commonwealth period was actually approved on June 9, 1938 as the Commonwealth Act number 301. Okay, let's proceed. The expenditure of the Japanese military government grew greatly, and they issued military notes in order to cover the cost of the war. So it was said that the expenditure grew greatly. So what do you think is expenditure? Expenditure is actually the amount of money spent or the action of how they spent the government funds. That is the reason why the Japanese issued military funds in order to cover the cost of the war. So the question here now is, what is this or what are these military notes issued by the Japanese? This is the Japanese invention money, officially known as the Southern Development Bank notes. According to my research again, this military note, which is the Southern Development Bank note, under this is the Greater East Asia War military script and was currently issued by the Japanese Military Authority as a replacement for local currency after the request of colonies and other states during the World War II. After all of the discussion, it was true that we can know history by studying the past. So I hope you learned something from our discussion, and thank you for listening.